Hello, folks, and welcome to the course overview. This is a course overview for our course, which is Guide to Linux Security. Please do spend a couple of minutes with me, and we'll go together to see what exactly we are covering in this entire course. And the very first section is going to be the introduction and course overview. The introduction is about the background, my academic, my experience, which I have already covered in the previous lecture. In this one, we're covering the course overview as I'm going through right now, and then in the end, you will have the option to download the syllabus. Then moving on to section 2, which is setting up the lab. So of course, you have to have a Linux machine to actually practice this entire course. If you already have a Linux machine, then it's great. You could just simply go ahead and skip this entire section. But if you don't, and also I would highly recommend that you go through the installation of Linux again for this course. It will be a good refresher for your installation experience. So what we're going to cover in this section is first we're going to download and install Oracle VirtualBox. Oracle VirtualBox is a software that allows you to actually run multiple virtual machines on a single server or a host. Then we're going to create our first virtual machine on that Oracle VirtualBox software. And of course, then we'll do the Linux installation. In this course, we are going through the Linux CentOS installation. If you have any other Linux flavor, that's good. But as I said before, please, I will recommend that you go through the CentOS installation with me because a lot of things that I'm covering is more closely related to CentOS and can be applicable to other operating system as well. All right, now coming to section 3, which is the actual contents where you're going to find everything about Linux security. One by one, we're going to cover starting with what is security and what exactly we are covering about the security. Securing all operating system, not just Linux. We will talk about how important it is that if you have a multiple operating system in your environment, then how important it is to cover and secure all those operating systems. Then, of course, we'll go more into detail about the importance of security overall. We'll talk about type of security breaches. Then we'll learn how to change the password parameters, creating user accounts and changing their passwords. Then setting up password policies, how a password should have how many length, what's the size of it, how complicated it should be. That's going to be all under password policy. Then we'll talk about disabling SSH access for certain users. Maybe there are users who just need to run certain commands and they don't need SSH access. We'll lock and disable user accounts manually or automatically. We'll lock user accounts after 3 failed attempts, meaning if they try to log into the system with the wrong password, that's a three times in a row, we'll lock their account. We'll learn that in that lecture. Will restrict direct root log into a system. There shouldn't be a direct root log into any system. It's a best practice. Linux file system ownership and files directories permissions. We'll change file permissions, and that has been divided into 2 different parts, part 1 and part 2. And then we'll learn how we could change the SSH port. So right now, by default, SSH port is port 22. We'll learn how we could change that so the hacker would not try to attack our port 22. Message of the day. When you log in, what will you see on the banner? That's important. Set up one service per server, meaning if you have a DNS server and FS server, it's better to run one service per server, and we will learn about the importance of running on each server. To do as the last thing, I want you to do some homework. Go through the practice with me of every lecture that I'm covering. And of course, read through the handouts that I have attached with this course. Good luck. I'll see you in the next lecture.